Okay, the time has come where I need to remove this paint and start preparing the faceplate for restoration. All right, I've started off with using the 400 grit side in order to remove the paint from the knobs. I've just started this in the last 10 minutes. So basically, because of the flexibility of these pads, you can work on cylinder or curved surfaces, and with a bit of thought you can actually just remove the paint and keep your sharp edges. The next step here is I always leave the top bit to last because that's what you're going to see, so I want a nice square surface. So the next step is, once I've done the finger slots, is to go around the whole cylinder and remove the paint in continual flowing motion. All right, thank you. All right, we're moving forward. Okay, the paint's now all off this. I've faced the bottom, so that's nice and flat. Removed a gouge, and I've faced the top so that it's nice and square. Just what I notice with these dials is that as you're going through the process and removing the paint, it's quite yellow underneath. Now they're still contaminants, so we need to remove any of the yellow undercoat, which is very, very thin, and try and get it back to this yellow finish, this white finish. All right, you can just see on some of these that there's a bit of yellow coming through now. Some of that's acid from over the years of skin coming into contact and wearing through. But yeah, we do need to get through and clean that, and then the next stage will be to clean that with some IPA or isopropyl alcohol. Starting on the knobs now. Okay, 2 down and 5 to go. All right, 5 down and 2 to go. It's a bit fiddly. You just take your time and away you go. Okay, all the knobs are done. As you can see, they're nice and sharp edges. The top edges are the most important. I'm probably just going to go over that channel selector and sharpen those top edges up. And then we commence on the fascia. Okay, I've started sanding the paint off. I start with the 240, do a couple of quick passes. Now, when working on the faceplate, it's a bit like block sanding a car. These are flat for a reason and firm. They've got foam in between, and that is so that we can get a very flat surface. Now I put it on a slight angle. Okay, so instead of pushing all of the product that you're sanding back underneath the pad, I put it on a slight angle and it puts more meat on the surface. The other thing that you'll start to uncover are low spots. As you can see, the object here is to sand the surface flat. There's enough meat on this product, as you can see there, and to sand those low spots out to make one constant. Obviously, we're mindful of that surface there. We can't have any, slanting, or so it's all got to work in well together. All right, I'll continue sanding the sides, and I'm leaving that side, the most damaged side, to last. All right, back again. All right, we've basically prepared the front fascia for painting and also doing some damage repair. Now, I'm actually quite happy after taking off all the coats. There's just that little nick there. It's very hard to see, but it will niggle me if I don't fix it up. So I will put some filler on that and then leave it overnight. Now, what have we used? Well, originally, as you saw, we were using the sanding blocks. So we originally started off with the 240. Sanded off, went on the long edges first, removed the paint. Then we went over it with 800 and 600 and finished off with 1000. So that's all very, very smooth, okay? My learning experience was that the slightest, sure, the undercoat will fill a lot of those very small scratches, but it's best to really start with a well-prepared surface. All right, so I've faced all of the leading edges around here, so it's just a matter of placing the bar on and doing very small backwards and forwards movements. Done the same over here around the bezel, inside the bezel. Along the the beveled edges here, I started off by using a flat piece of steel, which in this case is a ruler, with, what is it? It's a 1500 grit sandpaper. That allowed me to get a perfectly flat edge along there and take out all of the little nicks along this surface. All right, so you can see that. You can see that as well, and you can see, I think, that edge as well. So this is prepared. I'm quite comfortable with this. Also we've done all the inside of the meter there, and that will all be sprayed, and in the end it'll all be silver, metallic silver. So I'm going to start working with the filler. All right, masking the areas up. That's the total coverage area. Remember, we're going to, even though it's a small area, which is from here, there's some damage, and that's the big part. We need to allow ourselves enough room so that we can feather the work in later, so it's seamless and you don't see like somebody's worked on this or filled this area. Okay, I'll start mixing up or getting my work area ready. Just some of the tricks of the trade. I made myself an applicator out of a bit of polycarbonate. That's for the long size areas. That's for the small areas, which I use, to give an example, on the leading edges like that, so I can pull backwards to keep a sharp edge. So I minimize the sanding work and I almost end up with exactly what I need, so that when it dries, it's a straightforward process. Okay, this tacks off very, very quickly. It's actually, what is it? It's probably only around about 12 degrees here at the moment. But because it's a solvent-based putty, you've got to be well prepared and act very, very quickly. Now I've coated the area and I'm going to remove the tape. All right, the repair area is done and looking good. I'm happy with that. And now it's just 48 hours to cure. I need that really, really hard. I do not want it to ball when I'm sanding. Okay, so that's the hard part, and it's the end of part 1 of this restoration of the Tedelex TE-6000 plastics. So just to recoup what we've done today, we've sanded all of the buttons, the 7 buttons, to 1000 grade, and then we have done the fascia and removed all paint and oil residue and prepped in IPA, isopropyl alcohol, so that's had its clean. All silver areas that have just been given a light scuff are underneath the fascia and the perspex. So that's it. End of part 1. Like and subscribe. Ask any questions if you have anything, please, and I'll try and help. Remember, guys, with a bit of research, you can do it.